In the words of one of the greatest Olympians, Michael Phelps, who says, "You can't put a limit on anything. The more you dream, the farther you get." And with this, we welcome you to yet another edition of a favorite sports show, Sports Hour, coming to live from the Advent Cable Network Nigeria, ACNNTV, in the beautiful city of Abuja. I am JUDO. Good morning and welcome to today's show.
Good morning and welcome. My name is Olawale Ayeni, and today we are going to be talking about all the biggest sports stories that have been happening in the course of this week. What we start from this one coming all the way from Italy this morning, when NAPOLI have joined the race to sign Samuel CHUKWUEZE. Another story again, a Nigerian heavyweight boxing sensation has joined Fury Picao boxing team, while the sports ministry has approved JUDO Federation's constitution. Again, NNL Chief Operating Officer. Again, FIFA exclude Nigerian referee ahead of 2022 World Cup. Leadership crisis also hit Heartland FC as accountant takes over the interim boss. The battle of supremacy between the NFF top guns and also Senator Ifeanyi, and also we'll be looking at the Champions League, which I set to return later tomorrow.
So we've got a short break, and when we return, we will begin the show in earnest. Stay tuned, please don't change the dial. Thank you for staying tuned and you're welcome back. So if you're just joining us, this is the Sports Hour show, live from the Advent Cable Network Nigeria. So our first story today is going to be on the transfer window of Napoli, where I've listed the Villarreal winger Samuel CHUKWUEZE as a possible target should their bid for Sassuolo winger Jeremy Boga falls through. The Italian side recently signed CHUKWUEZE's compatriot, that I was talking about Victor Osimhen from Lille, offering €81 million plus add-ons, and a goalkeeper for the 21-year-old. The club are looking out for a replacement for Jose Callejon, whose current deal lapses at the end of August. And we are seeing now that Napoli, they are trying to ensure that they bring in more, and this is quite interesting. So let's talk about why are they looking for CHUKWUEZE?
Now CHUKWUEZE, we all know what he has been playing very well in Villarreal. We know what he can do. He's just a young boy, 21 years old. He has scored 4 goals with 6 assists in the last 41 games that he had played
for the Yellow Submarines.
CHUKWUEZE, we know he's a very, very good player. We saw what he did for Nigeria at the Nations Cup in Egypt. We know him and Osimhen have been playing very, very well right from the under-17.
Two Super Eagles players.
So Super Eagles is for me is a good one.
Then that the poster boys of the Super Eagles.
Yes, for me is a good one. I want to see that pairing between Victor Osimhen and CHUKWUEZE. For him going to Napoli, I think is a very good one. Villarreal, we know they have not been really playing well. I'm not sure if they are going to qualify for the Champions League next season. And we know Napoli also, they are not really going to the Champions League, but they'll be at the Europa League. I think it's a very, very good one if this deal can actually just go through, because we know Gattuso, who is a coach, wants to really change the style of play. Them winning the Serie A Cup has actually boosted their confidence, going to bring out new legs that can able for them to
in so many years.
Yes, so that will actually boost their confidence going to the next season.
Look at it now. We are seeing CHUKWUEZE. Sorry, we are seeing Osimhen already in in Napoli,
yes.
And it's going to be one of the we don't really have much Super Eagles players who are playing top clubs. Unfortunately,
yes,
we don't have, except for most of them are retired. Igalo is retired.
Yes.
Victor Moses is retired. Mikel Obi is retired. So we don't really have a Super Eagles player who is playing in a top club. Now Osimhen is going to Napoli. Napoli is not entirely a top club,
yes,
but they are close to being called a top club.
Yes.
And Villarreal also in the same mode with Napoli.
Yeah.
And we are now seeing that there's interest in Nigerian attacking players. Is this good news for Nigeria?
Of course.
For Nigerian football as a whole.
Of course. for them to to improve, because at this side of the world we don't get to even push all our players. We know the English media has this backing of their players. They get to hype their players
even when they're not good.
Even when they are not good, and it keeps working for them. I feel at this point in time we should start allow the media, let them rally around our players, and give them that media hype so that they can be able to go far in their own career, because we want to get to a stage where we see our own national team our own national team player playing for the likes of Barcelona, Real Madrid, Man City, Liverpool.
You've not seen any,
yes, in recent time. It's just during the 90s where we see all our players, are playing in the likes of Taribo West playing for AC Milan, the likes of Obama Martins playing for Inter Milan and all that. During the likes of,
no Nigerian players.
But right now we don't have a Nigerian player playing for Real Madrid. We call ourselves the Giants of Africa, and we want to push our football. So we just have to see how we can.
Is the first Nigerian to play for Manchester United.
Yes. That's Igalo is the first. So we want to see all our players. Let our own grassroots football get to grow. We should support our players. We should end all these crises going on in our own league. That will only attract younger scouts to come to Nigeria and see how they can to take our players to the big club we want them to be. Okay, we'll go to the next story, where renowned boxing promotional outfit Top Rank has announced the signing of Nigerian heavyweight boxing sensation AJAGBA. Top Rank promotional company boosts some of the best fighters in the world, including current WBC heavyweight champion Tyson Fury and Manu Pacquiao. According to the report, AJAGBA brought out his contract with Shirley Franks and Richard Scoofard Golden Boys promotion after being 3 years with the outfit. According to the 20-year-old AJAGBA told boxing.com, said that is why I signed with James Prince and Top Rankers. When I return to the ring soon, you will see a new AJAGBA. So AJAGBA, Top Rank. Do you see him doing well in that particular boxing outfit?
When he was about to fight one 30-year-old American boxer, Curtis Upper, what happened?
The guy ran.
The guy ran in from the ring because he saw the fury in AJAGBA. AJAGBA is one of his. I'm really proud the way our boxing boxers are doing well outside the country. They are really making waves in boxing. I would have violence in the first place.
You are not violent. It's just that the game and the Nigerian factor. Where you're coming from the Nigerian factor.
That anger is them that I'm a Nigerian. Let me go out there and destroy anybody.
Yes,
just imagine somebody who have trained, who have practiced for months. Then you not get to the ring. I'm talking about this Curtis Upper. You not get to the ring. Then you now see the face of AJAGBA. A strong face.
When you look at both of them, AJAGBA is way taller than him. I think he felt this guy has enough muscle. I don't have that kind of muscle.
And you saw the face.
And you saw the
face.
You saw the face ready
to take. That had gone through the tough times in the Edo in Nigeria.
Just look at him. The beast. Look at him. Look at his hand, his muscles, and all that.
Someone that doesn't smell like that when he's in the ring.
I know that.
The guy walked away.
Yes, he actually walked away. He actually ran for it. He actually ran for his life, if I may say. But it's a good thing for AJAGBA to actually see this deal with Top Rank. I think it's a right step in the right direction. I must say it. I just want the actually just keep his head high and get to learn.
He's not going to learn from the Tyson Fury and Pacquiao, so that will boost his
of course that will
his ranking.
Yes, his ranking in the world.
No, the guy is good.
And for him to actually drum off fight, will you want to see if AJAGBA fight the likes of Wider? Wow. If you look at that, Wider is. I would love to see that kind of fight. But if you look at it right now, Wider is bigger than AJAGBA in terms of size, but size doesn't matter anyway. Yes,
it depends on your skill. But I think he has not gotten to that level of Wider yet. But he will pose a strong challenge to Wider.
Of course.
And probably he might win. But if they are to fight now, I'll put my money on Wider first. than AJAGBA. But AJAGBA can spring up a surprise against Wider.
Of course.
It can happen. But looking at the current form right now, I think Wider will defeat AJAGBA. But maybe by maybe one knockout.
Maybe decision.
Yes,
and all that.
very slim. But it's going to be like a 50-50
kind of chance.
Yes.
Okay, at this point in time, I just want our own Nigerian Boxing Federation to actually see if they can draw some weight from these guys who has been going and moving glowing places, like the likes of AJAGBA, Anthony Joshua. You know, if they can actually see how they can get foreign investors and get into, invest in our own boxing sector.
Come and run our boxing federation.
Of course, but administrators in this part of the world, they will not really want to have former internationals getting, to come as a as a sport administrator. That is what is really happening when you look at the Ivory Coast. They don't want the Drogba to come as their own FA boss. So it's just that Africa, we don't really allow our own players who has played coming into sporting.
Look at Casillas is going to become a Spanish FA president, and if he can win when it's time for the election, it's possible.
Yes, it's possible. He can win. Yes.
Okay. With that, let's go to our next story, which has to do with the Secretary of the Nigerian Judo Federation, Abimbola Adesina, said the body's constitution has received approval from the Sport Ministry and the Nigerian Olympic Committee ahead of 2021 National Federation election. Controversy rocked the last federation's election in 2017 after the Sport Ministry introduced the use of guidelines for the elections, with some contrary to the status of the international federations. But with the Judo Federation constitution ready, Adesina believes the body will not need a guidance to conduct the next election, as the relevant bodies, the Sport Ministry and the NOC, have both approved it. And I think this is we are glad that these federations are now trying to play by the rules. 2017 it was quite messy.
Yes, a whole lot of noise actually emanated from that particular federation.
There were rumors or allegations of the ministry was bought over by some federation, by some members. They are not having their own constitution. AFN has its own. NFF does not have yet. They have status. Guidelines that will put them on the right path. Once the ministry approves it, that means they are in sync of what you have done, and which is good, because there's that need for the federations to be not independent per se, but at least near independent, where they can able to do certain things without looking only up to the ministry for finances or anything. I think we are glad that little by little. But for now, it's all these federations who have little or no impact that are now making more impact now compared to football, that we expect should have gone further than this, athletics that have gone further than this. But judo has been giving us trophies, medals, gymnastics, and all that. Boxing. Yes. They've been giving us.
I think we need to actually commend the last minister that is talking about Solomon Dalong, because he was the one that ensured that all sporting federations must have their own constitution, and he actually gave them a deadline date before he was out of the office as a sports minister. For them coming up to bring their own constitution is a good one. We are also in crisis every time in Nigerian sport. How will sponsors, how will they come in when every day we hear one crisis or the other? All these crises will not bring the needed sponsor. So at this point in time, it's better for us to let us know that we should not put personal interest when it comes to sports development in Nigeria. We should see the national interest, so that we can able to attract sponsor and get the needed result we want. Okay, so we'll go to the next story, where the Nigerian Football Federation has appointed Emmanuel Adesanya as the new chief operating officer of the Nigerian National League, that is about the NLL. According to Sporty.com, the NFF confirmed the appointment of Adesanya taking over from Lawrence Kittal, who has done a mandatory 35 years in service. Adesanya has put in over 25 years of great service to Nigerian football, and where he was served in various capacities in the federation. He was one time the inaugural secretary of the Nigerian Women League, and also one time secretary of the Nigeria Under-20 team, that is the Flying Eagles, to the FIFA World Cup in Poland 2005, where Nigeria lost to Lionel Messi-led Argentina team in the finals. The Associate Football Administrator has successfully handed some department in the NFF. According to them, are the head of African Inter Club and also the head of ITO Club.
So we are seeing a fresh and a
yes.
new, after Lawrence Carson has spent almost 30 years
yes.
in service, so 35 years in service, and we expect Mr. Emmanuel to now bring his A game on board.
Yes, he's very tough.
He is good. He has a lot of experience. You know, he has been in the national team at different levels. He has been in football, you know, at different levels.
Even being the head of the African Inter Club, and also he being the head of ITO Club, he has his.
That means he has a lot of organizational skills. Yes. So now, when you now expect to see the second-tier league, that's talking about the NNL,
yes.
now coming, you know, be like the Championship of England.
Yes.
We see Championship of England being shown on TV.
Of course.
We still keep talking about the for our football to be shown on TV.
Of course.
Championship, not even in a Premier League. Championship is being shown on TV.
Of course.
I still watch Fulham versus
Brentford.
Brentford, yes.
Yes.
When this week?
Yes.
Live.
2 days ago.
Yeah, live on TV.
Where Scott Parker actually led the Fulham back.
Live on TV. That's even a championship game.
Yes.
But I've never seen an NL, the one that they'll play in Abuja here or anywhere. I've never seen one on TV.
At this point in time, we just have to change the fortunes of the NL. Because even the last one before the league was actually cancelled, they just played about 5 matches. Some people played like 3 matches, while some played 2 and all that, and the league was called off. At this point in time, we need a total overhauling when it comes to the Nigerian NLL, because we know that over 42 clubs played in that particular league. I feel the appointment of Adesanya is a good one, and hopefully we should see things working better in that particular league.
So we just hope to say that Mr. Adesanya brings, like I said earlier, brings his A game on board. Is now one of the, is almost at par with every other league in the world. Since he has added the Africa Inter Club, that's a big lot of assignment he has done, and he was successful in that.
Yes.
So we hope to see NLL also rubbing shoulders. It might take time.
Yeah, it will take time. Yes, it will take time.
But we don't want the case whereby we'll be seeing games being played, 10 games being played, season called, yes. Let all the clubs
play their game. 42.
Let all the 42 play other matches, and let us get a good, good team that will come up to the NPFL and challenge for us. We never can tell. Whether from NLL we can now see more, we can get African champions.
Of course.
It happens.
Yes.
It happens. It is. Okay, so let's now go to our next story, which is not very palatable, not interesting, which is sad. And I think for the 3rd time in a row now, the Federation of International Football, that's talking about FIFA, has once again excluded Nigerian referees from the list of African officials for the 2022 World Cup in Qatar, the United Arab Emirates. The names which were made available to the media late on Monday as an Algerian, Egyptian, Moroccan, Senegalese, Ethiopian, and Congolese in the list. Pierre's the biggest news on the list is Cameroonian Aliom Sidi. He has officiated in 5 different African Cup nations and 2 FIFA World Cup. He was the head of the 3-member Cameroonian officials who refereed the last African final between Senegal and Algeria in 2019. Now this is sad that yet we keep having where Nigerian referees will not get the opportunity of. I've never seen any Nigerian referee play
officiate a World Cup match.
In recent years.
It's just so sad. Nigeria as it is.
Funny enough, hold on,
the
sorry
NFL.
to interrupt you.
No.
Just recently, I think early this year, about how many of them were given certificates by FIFA? License by FIFA recently. So they're not good enough to officiate in Nigeria and to officiate in the World Cup.
It's just
as a referee.
Even as a referee that is even doing making the changes and all that. It's also sad that Nigeria, as it is, we call ourselves the giant of Africa, and we could not even have like a one man who is going to represent the country when it comes to referee. It's just that we don't know how to play the politics when it comes to football in Africa. We just go there and get to play, go to events and come back. If we win, we don't win and all that. We don't really know how to play. They are the likes of the Egyptians, the Moroccans, the Senegal. They've been dominated. They have, and again, when we have so many news that is not even palatable to the ears. Today we have Nigerian referees have not been paid. They get involved in fixing and all that. So all that are not even attract the needed attention that we need so that our own referee can be called for international games. So I feel at this point in time we need a total overhauling when it comes to our football sector in Nigeria. We need the government to actually look into it, see how we can to touch the fortunes of Nigeria to the right track, because as it is now, our own we should have. There's nothing bad we having 5 referees from Nigeria going to officiate matches in the World Cup. I don't see anything bad in that. We should be the one even to dominate when it comes even to the African and nation.
Did you have any Nigerian referee?
We did not.
Yes.
We did not. Even the Nations Cup.
Nations Cup, we did not have one.
We did not.
Even in Africa, that's a shame.
Just to show you how porous it is. I feel our referee association in Nigeria, they need to do a whole lot of work for them to actually put themselves back in the world map.
In the past, Nigerian referees were among the first to be called for any function, any match in Africa.
Yes.
Let's just put apart on the world stage. But you are in Africa, and yet you cannot even invite one Nigerian referee to come and
officiate a
even
match.
To carry what's called the game to
the changing board. The changing board. Yeah.
Not even one. That's a shame. That's a big shame to Nigeria.
It's a big slap. I don't really know what the Nigerian Referee Association are doing. If they can actually play the politics, then why are they as a board member?
Tell me, how would they play the politics? Let's even discuss that.
How would they play the politics? Any game you have to play. You have to lobby
from the pitch. They do well. They don't do on the pitch. How will we sell the product out?
Then they just have to make sure that all their referee do what is needed of them. We have to, give our referee, train our referee, we put them on refresher courses, bring the media to actually, showcase that our referee can do. How many media reports do we have good about our own Nigerian referee?
Always match fixing.
Always match fixing. We hear bad news about them. If they are doing a referee refresher courses, do they even call the media to come and cover the event? No. When they were doing their refresher courses, I think it was last year, I went to the stadium, to president of the Nigerian Referee Federation just to get about details of what they are doing. The man, obviously, he turned the interview down, just to show you that they are not really ready to actually do the job. They are just there to get maybe the financial gains and all that, to get maybe if they want to travel, they put their names on all that, and they go for foreign trips. That is not what they are meant to do. They are meant to project the Nigerian referee. It's not bad for them to actually do a documentary and see how they can project the Nigerian referee to compare them to the best that we see in the likes of the England team. So I want the Referee Federation to actually sit up and see how we can develop a referee in Nigeria and see how they can to call our own referee to the World Cup. We're going to the next story also. Another crisis actually rocked the Heartland Football Club of Owerri following the purported takeover of the board by the accountant of the club, Mr. Emmanuel Okparanaze. It was gathered that the Imo State Commissioner of Sport, Rhoda Tony, had directed Okparanaze to take charge until a substantive general manager comes on board. According to a letter sent to them, reads, "I am directed by the Honorable Commissioner of Sports to inform that all the drivers of Heartland FC to make sure that they take care of their vehicles, because if they get faulty, they will bear the consequences if they derail." Saying, Okparanaze said in a memo to the club drivers, however, the club management has said that the commissioner does not have the power to dissolve the board, according to a statement signed by the Director of Media and Communication, Solomon Onu, that the power to set up a dissolution of the board reside with the governor. The number one citizen of our great state, that is talking about Senator Hope Uzodinma, in his magnanimity has directed on the 25th day of February 2020 that the status quo should remain. Since then, the Excellency have not given any counter directive since February 25th in date.
Again and again, Nigerian football and crisis.
You can imagine.
An accountant was employed. Your job is to take care of the finances of the club.
Of the club, yes.
But then, according to the man, his mastermind was behind the dissolution of the board, because he's responsible to some paymasters that to put financing in to be there. You know, all interest. But then the governor it's only the governor that has the right now to say, I hereby dissolve this board. Just like what happened in Osun State, where the governor is not dissolved Babes and Osun FC, because it's the state's owned club and he has the prerogative to do that. And the state commissioner cannot take that decision without the approval of the state governor. My problem is that should we keep bringing other people down for us, to get to that position? That's another thing. Okay, now it has happened. Why would an accountant come on board? You are not an administrator. You are employed. You are not elected. You are employed. You are not elected or appointed. You are employed. Give letter. You are hereby appointed as chief accountant. But then you masterminded the GM, AGM, vice president, all of them out for it to become the interim boss. So that by the time they now do another election, your own people will now come on board. Somebody is financing. Somebody is behind that. That is what Solomon Onu is saying, and it is not nice for Heartland FC, talking about a top club in football, of course, going through this kind of crisis. It's just so sad that Atlanta, they have actually started their own crisis. For an accountant to actually take over being the interim boss of the Heartland FC, I think it's not a good one. I think at this point in time, we don't really take sport very, very serious, because if we do, the governor should have actually, sent his own press release to actually debunk or uphold such a release from that part of. You can imagine. The players and the staff, the management of the club are still being owed salaries. You can imagine. Till now. And we want our own football to be compared to the likes of Arsenal, Chelsea, and all that. Let government hands off sport. If government hands up at sport, like you actually said, is our sport going to survive? We will survive. How are we going to survive? Now, mention like 4 sponsors in the NPFL. In the NPFL? Yes, talking about clubs. Wow. Right now, I can't think of. But and you want governor to, and you want the government to actually answer sports. This is what I mean. Now, we have said on this before that they can give out tax cuts or tax reduction, or a percentage of your profit goes to okay, we have Bet Nigeria now. We have we have different bet companies. They can come on board and take over the whole league, sponsor the whole league. Board where they are sponsoring EPL. Yes. Pig Milk, you know, different organizations can come up on board and sponsor this league. Let the government just, only what the government needs now is just to give them the guidelines on what to do and what not to do. Simple. But then we all know that there are some interested parties who always want to take charge of everything. And most of these people in these state clubs are politicians.
They will really have the political will to actually do that.
Yeah,
to mandate these big multinationals for them to, you know.
Politicians. Some of them, only few are civil servants, but most club presidents or chairmen are politicians.
Yes.
They belong to one political party or the other, and they use this club as a means to sell out their political career.
Yes, of course.
So it is going to be very difficult. The more that we have these politicians in charge of our football. Okay, yes, I cannot compare our league to the European League, but you do not see a Florentino Perez being a politician. Yes, it's politics, but it is not in the mainstream politics of Spain. Yeah. Kroenke is not a politician, though they could be backing some politicians.
Of course. But
they are not in a particular. Okay, just like we have a Dangote now. Probably when he buys Arsenal, as he plans to, he is not a politician, but he's a politician. So all these board chairmen should not be in politics. Should not be in the mainstream politics.
Of course, I totally agree with you.
They have their interest to protect on the political stage. That is why, okay, see most of the governors now owing Heartland FC money now. They might not pay them for a while now, but when it was election, they start paying them just for them to. They use as a propaganda.
Yes.
We paid, you know, we settled. Of course. It is not fair. The same happened in Cross River State, where the state governor was owing the female team 10 good months. This is where these people survive on. This is where they live on. How will they take care of their children and their family? And yet, you expect crime to go down. It can't go down. So we urge, we need to ask our football operators to always do the needful. Let them think out of the box. Their opportunities are bound in Nigerian football, in Nigerian sport as a whole.
You just made mention of Dangote wanting to buy Arsenal. The question is, why can't Dangote actually, you know, get to buy a particular club in the MPFL? And also, even he can actually support the MPFL. The MPFL can be named after like Dangote.
Dangote Football League. You know,
Dangote Football League. I don't see
like Barclays Premiership.
Like Barclays Premiership. It can be named Dangote Premiership of Nigeria. I feel we should start supporting our own before we get to support other countries' league abroad.
And this now brings us to the crisis between NFF and ANAMBRA. In fact, and Senator Ifeanyi Umba. Because now this battle is no longer between NFF and ANAMBRA FA. It is purely a battle between Amaju Pinnick and his co versus Senator Ifeanyi Umba. Ifeanyi Umba won this election clear and clear.
We all know that if you like, take the election to the moon, take it to anywhere. Ifeanyi Umba will still actually win that particular election. And they held the election. They said he didn't actually follow the COVID-19 protocol. Another election was held virtually, and Ifeanyi Umba eventually actually won that particular election. And the NFF are coming up to set a caretaker committee
led by who? The person that's heading that committee was also a contestant who had only 2 votes.
You can imagine.
And is to head the committee
of the for a space of 3 months before an election also will be called.
So you can see that there's something fishy about that. You bring up a committee, you set up a committee led by someone
that contested for the post
against and had only 2 votes compared to a man that got, I think, if I'm back,
20-something
23 votes or thereabouts. Yes. What? And yet now it's almost like a vendetta that because Senator Ifeanyi Umba did not support him when he was in CAF. It is his right to support whoever he wants to support.
That's absurd.
Don't kill Nigerian football because of your ego. Simple.
As it is now, I think the NFF, for me, they're just trying to, you know, use this ANAMBRA FA election to actually, shift Nigerian focus away from the FIFA palliative, because you are going to be, FIFA has given them palliative, and everybody is waiting to see how they are going to share that palliative, because other countries actually they came out with a blueprint to tell to the whole world how they are going to spend the money. They actually did it, the ratio for the Premiership club, the division for the women, but at this point in time we have not even heard anything about the FIFA palliative to the Nigerian Football Federation. But at this point in time, talking about the ANAMBRA FA election, I think the NFF should just, the NFF does not really need all this distraction at this point in time.
One more thing that they said, they did not follow the guidelines. The COVID-19 protocols.
For God's sake,
and yet they are inaugurating a board. Committee to look into it. Did they follow the COVID-19 protocol for them to inaugurate a new board? Just imagine. They are saying that there's a ban on sports activities, but yet the NFF, they're inaugurating the committee. Is that not a sports activity? It's
a sports activity.
But this people did the election virtually. There'll be meetings online, and, they voted virtually, and he won. So what crisis? What guideline did they break?
I feel they're not being truthful to themselves. They just want Senator Ifeanyi Ubah out that particular seat. But we know Senator Ifeanyi Ubah has been doing very well when it comes to ANAMBRA FA election. We know that he has what it takes to actually lead that particular federation. So we go to the next big one, where the Champions League and the Europa League actually returned. The Europa League returned yesterday. The Champions League is going to return. We're starting tomorrow.
The team, that Champions League anthem that gives you goosebumps.
Of course.
When you see your team coming out to play, but the only thing is that there will be no fans.
Yes, there will be no fans,
unfortunately. So now Champions League resumes tomorrow, where we are going to have Man City
versus
Real Madrid.
I think it's going to be a cracker. We know Man City has the upper hand. They went to the Bernabeu Stadium and they won that particular one 2-1. But we know Real Madrid have coming on the back heel that they have won the Spanish La Liga. They want to see how they can be able to overturn that particular goal deficit for them to actually win that particular one. Juventus will be playing Lyon. Lyon has the upper hand. They won Juventus at home 1-0. So they'll be playing. We hope Ronaldo brings up his A game in that particular encounter. And Napoli, Barcelona. We know Victor Osimhen will not be playing in that particular encounter because it's cup tied. 1-1. Barcelona drew at Napoli, so they'll be playing at Camp Nou. Hopefully, we hope Gattuso side gets to beat Barcelona, because we know Barcelona, they are not in the top form. They are having issues with their coach and all that. Chelsea, Bayern Munich. Is it not done and dusted for Chelsea?
There's no hope for Chelsea.
As I read in the one place that UEFA should allow Chelsea filling that two goalkeeper. Talking about keeper and Calabaro. So that
there's no hope for Chelsea against the Bayern.
Yes.
So anyway, this is how much.
Also, Atlanta will be playing Porto, while Leipzig will be playing Atletico Madrid. It's going to be a tough one.
Yes, and yes, Dave, before I forget, we talked Manchester United,
Yes, they won 2-1.
And they will play against in Germany.
Okay.
Yes, and we are seeing that Man U probably they will win this. Probably they could win this.
Yes.
Probably not to end the season at least with a trophy.
At least they can actually get to win a trophy. And just we'll let you go. Your reaction when Arsenal won Chelsea in the FA Cup final. We will not go before. I want to hear GD say something about that particular match, because as you said, it was done and dusted. Arsenal was not going to win that particular cup.
They wanted Arsenal, to qualify for Europe through the back door.
How?
It happened.
How?
No?
Arsenal won that match. Everything. They won it. They played perfectly well. They won that particular match. The 2 goals was brilliant. Aubameyang, brilliant.
And the editor, they're also talking about that as well too.
Because Arsenal won. Just to show you that Arsenal are the champions when it comes to FA Cup.
14 times champion.
Yes, 14 times.
He won that as a player.
As a coach. So it's an impressive one.
Always 14.
Yes.
But that's the only trophy Arsenal can ever win.
But it's a trophy.
Agreed.
Yes, it's a trophy. Even though it's a local trophy, it's a trophy. Don't worry. Next season, we are aiming for the EPL. We are aiming for the EPL next season. We are where the likes of Coutinho, where the likes of Williams, where the likes of Thomas Partey will be coming to the side. Don't worry.
If you guys can drop the money. Okay.
We will.
Wenger has gone.
Certainly, we will drop the money. We will see those three players will come to Arsenal. Okay. I expect to see a brand new Arsenal next season, hopefully.
Okay. Anyway, so this is how much we can bring to you today. We hope you enjoyed every bit of today's show. But before we leave, once again, we want to congratulate Arsenal fans for qualifying for Europe through the back door.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you very much. I have to shake you for that.
So, as we battle against the coronavirus pandemic, we urge you to keep safe, obey the guidelines as set up by the authorities, keep your social distancing, wash your hands regularly, or use an alcohol-based sanitizer, and use your face mask always. I remain Olusola.
Okay, so we'll come your way, same time, same station. My name is Lawale Ayeni. Have a great day. God bless you. Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.